course, a trip to Bloomington, and not necessarily the most intimidating environment in the Big Ten over the years, Steve. But nonetheless, there have been some close calls, especially during the Urban Meyer days, a couple there. And Indiana's been formidable, and certainly were last year. And many determined that this was going to be the game of the year in the Big Ten Eastern Division, but that won't be the case.
No, it doesn't seem like it, as Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State have all reclaimed their place in the Big Ten hierarchy. We saw Indiana in action this past weekend, 20-15. They lost at home to Michigan State, and they gave the Spartans quite a game. And honestly, their defense played championship level football, but their offense is nothing short of hideous. In 3 Big Ten games, they've only scored 1 offensive touchdown. And in fact, in those 3 games, they've also given up 3 pick-6 touchdowns. So their offense, when they take the field, is getting outscored -4 in scoring when they take the field. So that's not good, or whatever that margin would be. I guess it would be 14 divided by 3. I don't know. Almost -5 points per game. Your offense is being outscored in Big Ten play. So that's fairly hideous. But again, over the years, Ohio State and Indiana have played some entertaining games, but Indiana hasn't beaten Ohio State since the late 1980s, and I can't imagine that's going to change.
Kevin, we got Indiana coming up, and somebody's got a train about
I know, I'm
through
trying
their
to
living
mute
room.
my line here.
Well, that Indiana offense is no train, let me tell you that. That train derailed pretty early on. I've just started doing research on Indiana. That's why with going on a Monday, I feel woefully underprepared for the show because I haven't gone through tape yet. But, just looking at their schedule right now, 2-4, they beat a FCS Idaho team 56-14. And then their other win is a 33-31 win against Western Kentucky. Iowa completely shut them down. Penn State shut them out. Cincinnati beat them by 2 scores. Then, of course, the 2015 game that Steve had mentioned. That Michigan State-Indiana game, I had big expectations for it, and it was a game only a mother could love, a mother with bad eyesight. It was really ugly to watch. And I'm not going to give credit to defenses. I'm going to say offenses were inept in that game. Michigan State ran for 100 yards. Indiana ran for $134. Indiana threw for less than 200. Michigan State ran for 141. I think it goes back to showing the hierarchy that Steve had mentioned of Penn State, that team up north, Ohio State kind of being the guys in the penthouse in the Big Ten East, and everybody else just kind of trying to vie for whatever they can get there at that point. I know we'll probably get more into detail in Indiana as we go on, but I'll just throw it out there as I'm going to cut out of the show a little early. This is not the Indiana team that came in and put a scare into Ohio State in that 42-35 game last year. Jack Tuttle was the quarterback last week. We're not sure at this point what the status of Michael Penix is going to be. I mean, the interesting stat line there, the interesting storyline there is that Jack Tuttle was Chris Olave's high school quarterback, but he certainly has not done anything to really impress me. Ty Freifogel has not blown up and had the type of year that he was having last year, and USC transfer Stephen Carr has not been the answer at running back.
Yeah, they can't do anything well, and whether it's Penix or Tuttle, everybody's throwing pick sixes and looking bad. And yeah, it sure didn't take long for Michigan State and Michigan and Penn State to be like, no, Indiana, they stuff Indiana back in the locker where they've been forever. And you look at their remaining schedule, and they're in a position to miss a bowl game because they can lose their next 3 games, which are, they've got Ohio State, then they're at Maryland. And right now I'm not taking Indiana over anybody on the road. And then they're at Michigan, and that should be a loss as well. So they only have 2 wins now. And then they finish with Rutgers, Minnesota, and at Purdue. And that could be, another loss or 2 there. So yeah, they're going to have to, really pick it up to go bowling. So they'll probably miss a bowl game for the first time since 2018, which, 2 years in a row is pretty good for Indiana. 3 years in a row might be a record. I'm not sure, but yeah, they have fallen back to earth very quickly. There was a lot of hype and a lot of expectations. Were they ranked in the top 10 to start the season, like 9 or something like that? And boy, if you go back and look at like the top 15 in the preseason rankings, you're going to really doubt people's ability to know or predict college football in any form or fashion, because there are a lot of bad teams that were ranked very highly, and Indiana was one of them. But we all kind of fell victim to it. They were returning so much. They're returning their quarterback, which is a key, but Penix has always been up and down, injured, hurt, good, bad. Played his best game ever as against Ohio State in a second half that didn't really matter to Ohio State, and I think that maybe we saw the potential that Indiana had, but they haven't even come close to reaching that since, and I don't know that they can anymore. And they can't run the ball. The pass offense is no longer explosive in any way. The defense is middle of the Big Ten right now, and they need it to be towards the top if they're going to do anything. And I think they're going to struggle against Ohio State for sure.
I wasn't super high on Indiana coming in, but I'm not going to in any way claim that I foresaw this. I had them 8-4, so a reasonable bowl team, losing some games in division. And Kevin, to extend on your point about an anemic offense, it's one thing to throw the ball 52 times, but to squeeze 188 yards out of 52 pass attempts, man, you are dinking and dunking your way down the field and missing on a ton. And Stephen Carr only 2.5 yards per carry, 2.8 to be exact.